It's Wednesday. Got it right.
You got it right. Woohoo! Wait a minute. Are we twins? Let me put my glasses on.
Yes, we're twinning.
Hey.
I have my, where is it at? I got my tree up.
Oh, mine's not up till next week. It looks beautiful.
I know. I posted pictures of it, but I'm going to do like a full blog about the whole tree situation. And, after my helper left, I had to get in there and.
Right. You had to finish jazzing it all up.
Well, we have this whole thing about balance, and she wants to hang like all the sparkly balls together or all the blue balls together. And it's like, well, I need you to spread it out. Like we can't just on top of each other. So anyways, yes. So it is Wednesday, second to the last episode in our inaugural season. How are you feeling about that?
I'm excited because our very last one of the season is going to be so much fun.
It is.
It is.
What are we going to do for 3? What do we have? 3 whole weeks?
Girl, guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be making some chocolate. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Okay, well, you're going to be making chocolate. I don't know what I'm going to do. Something. But anyway, so what's been good in Jacksonville?
Well, you know what? I'm feeling great. I'm doing my crunches every day. Is it crunches? What are we calling those?
Yeah, no, squats. We're doing
squats. We're doing our squats every day. 50 squats a day for the American Heart Association. So I've been doing that we've been doing it for 2 weeks now, right?
Yeah, we have to go to the end of the month.
And so now we have till the end of the month. Oh, you guys, guess what? I have to say this. Happy birthday to my mama.
Oh,
I love you, Mom. Happy birthday. You are amazing. You are blessed.
Happy birthday.
And my sister and my niece and nephew, we love you with all our hearts. And I just got to do that shout out. I love you. Love you. You're amazing.
Right.
But otherwise, I'm good. Girl, I got to buy a car. My transmission gone on my car.
Oh, well, you had that little car for a while, though.
I did. It did.
What's that song? My hoopty rolling, tailpipe sagging. It don't work. Like I keep lagging. That car. You that was like the epitome of driving until the wheels fall off.
That's right. It did good for the little amount of money I bought it for when I got here in 2017. And now I am trying to figure out what I'm going to do by the end of next week.
You know what? You having to buy a car could just be a segue into this next season that you're moving into, and the car is an upgrade.
Everybody's blessings. Pray for
that.
Pray for a good low car payment.
All that.
All that. Give me all the positivity. Everybody send it to me, please, because I need it and I receive it. So you are right, Shanita. You are right. It's going into the next new amazing season of 2021. And how about this? You tell me, how was your week?
My week has been intense, but like not bad, but just like intense.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of different things. Like I was supposed to do something on Friday, and then it got canceled, and then that kind of like threw me off because I had planned the whole week to do that, and then I don't know. It's just been kind of intense, but not bad, but like just intense. So I'm definitely looking forward to a little bit of downtime towards the end of the year. I think I really need it. And then I just realized today too that like me and the little one have basically been quarantined for almost a year.
Wow.
I mean, when you think about it, that was
so good though. You've done really good.
Yeah. I mean, that's March. This is December. I mean, in this COVID warp speed time that we're in, it's going to be March like next week. So like when you look at it.
Let's not jump that far that quick.
I'm just saying that time just like, you just look up and you're like.
Boom. Where did it go? Exactly.
I'm in this like stage of it's either Sunday or Thursday. I never know what day of the week it is, and it usually always winds up being Sunday or Thursday.
This week is going really fast though.
Yeah, for sure. Well, today we have another boss
What?
I was about to say a bad word, but then I decided.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Boss. We want to call her boss lady, because that's from the Caribbean. We just
Okay,
want
we're going to call her boss lady, Chef Treisha Hall. So I'm happy. I love it when we get the sisters on the line with us, because it's like a little chat amongst girlfriends, less the wine and staying up till 3 a.m, keep having a good old little kiki. So I'm going to bring her on.
Yay!
Hi, Chef.
Hey, ladies. How are you? How are you?
We are doing well. And you?
Amazing. Amazing.
Hey, you look amazing, girl. You look good. Hey.
I love it when we get when our guests have the whole background situation going on.
Okay. Come on, background.
Come on, background.
Brandon.
Yes.
Branding. Yes.
I love it. I love it.
So can you just introduce yourself to everyone? Give us a little breakdown. Talk to us, sister.
Absolutely. For those who don't know, I'm Treisha Hall, food artist. I'm the owner of Ramel's Catering Services, located right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. We are a full-service catering company that also specializes in weekly meal plans. We have our signature product line, as well as consultation. We try to cover all the bases when it comes to the food industry. And I am just beyond excited to be on here with you ladies this evening. Absolutely. Let's have some fun. You said this was your last one. Let's go out with a bang.
Yes, because next week we're just doing like our holiday gift giving,
Yes.
We're going to highlight our people that we know that have got things that they're going to sell. So that should give people enough time to put their dollars in action. Because, people are always talking about buy black, support black. Okay, we're going to give you a whole episode of Black food products that you can support and get for Christmas or the New Year. So that's going to be next week. But so we talked a little bit about your journey. We got Jamaica.
We got
South
Jamaica,
Florida,
South Florida, and now Raleigh, North Carolina. I know.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's been a journey, but nonetheless, it's been very exciting. When I moved here from South Florida, I definitely tapped into another market that was not here. Now it's, improved upon when it comes to the Caribbean food and scene and culture, but it was definitely a new beginning. And so being here has definitely propelled us further in the culinary world. So I'm excited about that.
Okay, so while we're talking about Caribbean food, our guest a couple of weeks ago, Nadine Nelson, she posted this morning, and I giggled. I guess Marcus Samuelson made a soup that was Haitian.
Stop it.
Well, I'm just asking because I don't know anything about the soup, but apparently in the Haitian committee, someone said, and I quote, "My grandmother's having a titty fit in heaven."
Absolutely.
As a result of this soup. So
it's quite interesting because it's something that I've talked about a lot when it comes to cultural appropriation.
That's why I want to talk about it. We do it to each other.
You got to remember that for a lot of people, this is their introduction to this cuisine.
Right. Oh, wait.
Are putting out a product that is authentic to what it is, And so I saw it and I read the comments and I looked at everything back and forth, and some blame Bon Appetit magazine, some blame Marcus Samuelson. The bottom line is you just have to be so careful when it comes to foods and cultures, because I've seen many times, I have a lot of Haitian friends and I've seen them post that soup, and I'm gonna tell you the adaptation that I saw is not what I've seen. So that's a little
But so we're talking about, I bring it up because we're moving into this new space in 2021 where I feel like when it comes to cultural food, and I don't like calling it ethnic food because I just don't. Yes. I don't like that word because it's not. It's cultural food. So we're moving into the space of cultural food where I feel like there has to be a little bit of accountability on all sides. Like, for example, I do modern Southern. I'm not well versed in Caribbean. I'm not well versed in like Asian or Spanish or Mexican. So I feel like I would be out of my depth to attempt a traditional cultural dish. Now, I may have experienced some Caribbean food. My babysitter and big sister was from Barbados growing up, and we're still very close. So I definitely experienced Caribbean cuisine, and some of those flavors have influence on my cooking style. But I would, if her mother was coming to town, I would not volunteer to make anything other than sweet tea. I can make my peach tea, and that's it.
Peach tea.
Napkins?
Absolutely.
Do you want napkins or ice? I got that, but I wouldn't volunteer to bring. I wouldn't volunteer to cook.
Right.
I would let them to handle that. So I feel like as chefs, we kind of, I don't know. What do you think?
It is our duty, absolutely. And one of the things I always say is maybe the word should be inspired by.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that would be more of a representation. Inspired by soup so-and-so, or inspired by New Orleans gumbo, or inspired by jerk chicken, whatever. It needs to be something. If it's not authentic to the culture, then it needs to say inspired. Because that's not it. The bottom line is, if I go into a restaurant or I do a recipe and I've never been to the place, I've now taken on the ideology that this is how it should be.
Right.
So now when I go to the real place and it ain't what I did or what you brought me, I'm gonna be like, well, you wrong. But
right.
In essence, what I got was wrong. So we just have to be so mindful. It is definitely one of the things that I see a lot. And just being Jamaican, I've seen so many different versions of jerk. And every time I see it, I just roll my eyes and keep on going.
I saw some jerk turkeys, and y'all ought to be ashamed. And I have said that this year I was giving people passes on the fuckery that y'all posted on Thanksgiving, but I'm not.
Not in 2021.
And I'm gonna start commenting and letting y'all know that is not a jerk turkey. Okay. No. First of all, how do you even jerk a whole turkey without breaking the carcass down is what I want to know.
And that's the thing. Again, we have gotten to a point where it's become normalized that people think jerk relates to the seasoning. Jerk is the technique along with the seasoning. So it's a whole different ball game. Now you can say jerk seasoned turkey, but you can't say you jerked the turkey unless you had some pimento wood out back. No, I'm not gonna make me look a Caribbean accent pop out.
Oh Lord, here she go. Here she go.
You know, Erica, okay?
You were doing it over open fire. Your turkey and put it in the oven, sweetie. That's not jerk.
No, you did a jerk season. You didn't do jerk turkey.
Right.
Bottom line.
I feel when we were at Blue Chocolate, you know, I was very excited because I had Jay from Nassau. We had Tanisha from Jamaica.
Yes.
Tanisha was doing her rum cakes, and she was doing her patties.
Yes.
Jay was doing, you know, our conch fritters, our saltfish fritters, and the saltfish fritters were more from Tortola. So I was, you know, we kind of blended it from our saltfish to our Bahamian fritters, those kind of things. You know, we didn't say inspired by, only because this one was born in the Bahamas and this one was born in Jamaica, and they were doing their thing. You know, anything that I did, I was inspired by them. You know, and from the times that I lived throughout the Caribbean. And I think people really appreciated it, but we weren't going around, you know, just talking out the side of our mouth.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
I love that. And I'm really hoping that as we move into this next phase, because I also am tired of the word new normal. Like if I hear that one more time,
Well, you know, Shanita. You know, Shanita, I've been living with that phrase since 2017, since the hurricane. So for me, that's not even a phrase, you know, because you just keep living. You just keep moving forward. There is no normal. Normal is you got up that morning.
Amen.
Hey,
that's the word right there.
Phase. I'm just hoping that as we slide into this next phase of what the food industry, what our culinary industry is going to look like, that it comes with one accountability and opportunity. So I feel like if opportunity is spread, then and more readily available, then some of us won't feel the need to have to grasp and hold on to like every single little bitty thing that we can get, and we feel more apt to spread the wealth. Like, for example, if someone calls me and is like, hey, do you want to do something Jamaican? I'm like, no, I do not. But however, I know somebody.
Exactly.
No, ma'am, I don't want to do that.
No, ma'am, for me.
I know. So this is happening. This is just triggering for me for Thanksgiving, because I watched another video of an actress, which I actually love, and she claimed to make sweet potato pie. Sis, there's no crust.
What?
And it had marshmallows on it.
What?
Sound like she did something.
What did you just say?
She said it was a sweet potato pie. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. She's going to make a sweet potato pie. I wonder how this is going to turn out.
You said no crust and it had marshmallows?
Yes, no crust, no eggs, no dairy, marshmallows on the top. So I was like,
very good.
That looks more like a casserole to me, honey, but okay.
Well,
right.
If you want to call it pie,
go ahead.
Okay. For 2020, but next year I'm gonna have to say that maybe that's not a pie. There's no way. How did you get it to rise up? It's just baked sweet potato puree.
Pretty much.
So and I always tell my friends, I was like, these type of recipes is what gets y'all banned from bringing food to the family cookout, because y'all be foolishness. And,
oh my goodness!
So I had to post a recipe for 7-Up cake that involved yellow cake and pudding. I said, please don't. Grandma's gonna cuss you out, and she cuss because she's a good Christian woman. But let her see you pull out some yellow cake mix, talking about this. You about to make a 7-Up cake and put the pudding in it.
Lord,
somebody's grandma is you.
You need to stop telling on people. Stop it. You know,
but I understand. I so understand, and I get it. Like I said, we have to be more responsible. You know,
for sure.
Definitely.
For sure. Okay, so
I'm not gonna go make a Jamaican rum cake.
Whew. And you know, it's that time of year.
Ingredients, you understand?
Listen, I hope they have that fruit soaking from last year.
Hello. And we ain't even talking about black cake.
That's where I immediately went. You know, this is the time of year.
Girl, it hurt my feelings when in 2017 and the jar of my fruit went out the window. Black cake. Yeah. And it had been 2 years old.
Oh, yeah. I know.
So people, they don't grab those things.
It's the little
authentic parts of the cultural cuisine that is out there.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, I think a part of that is just trying to reduce what we do as artists to a 30-second, 15-second video. That's not, I really can't. I mean, I did make a 15-second reel of me making beef stroganoff. I mean, you can attempt it from that reel, but
it takes a little bit more behind the scenes.
I didn't show a lot of steps. I was just trying to get it down in 15 seconds. You're probably going to be missing out on some things. That's not something you can do. So I'm hoping that we move into something a little bit more expansive and authentic. And I'm hoping too, you know, people have had all this time where they were supposedly shut in and staying at home, and they've been cooking at home. And I said supposedly because from the looks of my timeline,
it ain't happened. Okay.
Like, folks is at home.
I need to jump in here and say, Chef Dana says hello. And your baby girl says, I'm watching. That's my mama.
Okay. I know that's right. Period. Queen.
So I love it.
I'm just putting all those comments that are coming on my side. I want to let everyone.
I'm just saying that. What was I saying?
About being responsible.
Yes.
Oh, right. Moving into a phase where people appreciate what we do as artists. I'm only bringing that up because you have your title as food artist.
Absolutely.
when you say food artist, because quite frankly, I'm tired of calling myself a chef. Being a chef these days is like being a Christian. And everybody calling themselves a Christian, everybody calling themselves a chef. So I'm trying to come up with a different term because I don't know that I want to be referred to as neither.
So it's interesting, the story behind the title food artist. It was actually given to me by one of my early clients. When I first started out in South Florida, I actually had the pleasure of being the in-house caterer for a art gallery that's there. And so again, with the art gallery, you have to do small plates. It couldn't be anything messy. And I just had to constantly think outside the box to keep it small, petite, cute, matching the atmosphere of what was going on. And I'll never forget him, William. He said, "You know what you are?" And I said, "No, I don't." He said, "You're a food artist." And I was like, "Okay, thank you." And, you say thank you and you kept it pushing. And then later on in the evening, I thought about it and I'm like, absolutely. Food is definitely an art. And that's why I say it is presented for interpretation to whomever it is that you are giving it to. And I just always love that. And I've taken it on. I try to live it through my food every day. When it comes to
By the way, your food is beautiful. Stop it on that Instagram. You're killing me.
I'm trying, just a little something. But, when it comes to the title chef, I am just very mindful that, like Shanita was saying, there's a lot of talk around that title. Some believe that if you didn't go to culinary school and if you ain't got 50 million degrees behind it, then you shouldn't call yourself a chef. And then there are others who say, but if you came up the chain and you worked your way through and you did the work, then you are.
I'm with that too. You watched Food Network and created an Instagram account, and now you're cooking.
And now you're a chef. And I get that
I don't know that you're necessarily a chef.
Exactly. And so over the years, like I said, from the time William said that to me, I just love that. And I just gravitated towards that because, again, I really feel like that's what we do. You are, some of us, I'm still trying to figure out the concept of the art. It don't always look right. but nonetheless, I took the title, I ran with it, and I'm like, that's my lane. I'm a food artist.
I love it. I like I said, I'm trying to find my own new lane because I don't know that chef is my lane anymore. It feels crowded.
Oh no, girl! Maybe I need to get you a Hummer. Just run them over. I don't know.
She will.
Hummer is coming out.
Don't do it.
Just say it. It feels crowded in the chef lane, and I don't know that I want to be there anymore. So, anyways, so what have you guys been seeing in Raleigh in terms of like COVID and COVID response, and how has it been there? Have you had to do the pivot? Another word that I'm really tired of too, but for lack of a better word, we're going to
lack of a better word. Absolutely. So for us, initially back in March when we went into the shutdown mode, RCS definitely felt it. Our orders went away. Our clientele were like, we got to save. We don't know what's about to happen. And so it literally tanked. And so for about March into April, it was nothing. May, nothing. June, I was like, you know what? Everybody's trying to be mindful of their coins, but I also need to get my coins. Right. So we launched the 4 for 50 initiative. And, I was like, listen, we're dropping our rates on our weekly meal plans. We will do 4 fully cooked meals for $50 and deliver it to you. No contact delivery, which we've always done anyway. I don't charge delivery fees and all that good stuff. And I put it out there. And when I tell you the response was tremendous,
awesome.
It was tremendous. And that literally catapulted me back from the red, honey. Because when I say I was in the red, it was darker than the shade of red in the logo. Okay.
Wow. That's good.
So we just kept on doing that. So like I said, for us, it was just lowering prices a little to give that flexibility, a service that is definitely needed. Because at that point, everybody was tired of trying to make, what was it, that stupid bread everybody was making? At that point, I was so sick and tired of seeing starter doughs for sourdough and all this. Oh. Man cannot live by bread alone. Okay.
Right. And not everybody's a freaking baker. And why do you have to make sourdough at home? Can't you just go to the Instacart and get it?
No,
they forgot about
that. I'm like a real baker, and I couldn't get any damn yeast. I'm calling around my friends.
Everybody was out of yeast.
Toilet paper. I'm like, why am I on the hunt for yeast? Calling all the Walmarts. Do y'all have yeast?
But then, Restaurant Depot opened up to the public, and then people lost their mind.
Yes, they did. Absolutely. Which is kind of crazy because I've realized that over the years, it's moved from being that you either have to be in the food industry to you can have a business to now it's just open to the public.
Right.
And I was like, okay, great.
It's a dangerous Sam's Club.
Ooh.
Because my Restaurant Depot, you need to be worrying about those fork trucks because they be driving those things down the aisles like they're on the Autobahn. And then you got mama and them wandering around with one scooper. Like, if y'all don't get out my way.
Shanita, I'm gonna pray for her, Erica.
50 pounds of
This is who she is. This is who she is.
I'm like, what's your grandma doing with 50-pound bag of Restaurant Depot bread flour? That's saying you need all that cornmeal. It's not the Great Depression. Y'all are not open in a soup kitchen. Okay, what are y'all doing?
So they weren't sure what was about to pop off. They were planning.
I don't know what they were doing. I don't know.
But yeah, we just basically took our concept that we've always had and just, like I said, lowered the price point, got the ball rolling, and, went through. I did that up until the ending of summer. And then we went back, and then I even went ahead and created a U-Pick menu, which was something we never did before because I love to create your meal plan based on your dietary needs or restrictions.
Right.
And one particular lady said to me, well, is there a menu I can choose from? And I'm like, no, because we customize it for you. But then I thought about it. I'm like, I can definitely do that. Absolutely. Treat it just like the weekly.
When you did that, did you see a change in your costs? Only because that all of a sudden you were saving money with that.
Absolutely. It really helped because what it did was it increased sales again. Mm-hmm. Because there are those people who definitely like to see what it is that they're going to get. And then there are those who love the customization, whatever it is that you create, Trish, we're okay. But it really helped to push the profit line up again because I was like, okay. So, keep it at really nice, clean dishes that is going to be profitable for you and put it out there and they select, of course, I try to put cut off time. So that way, we don't get overwhelmed by late orders.
Right.
What was going on. So it really worked. And I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm thankful. I really am, because we could have came out on the other side of this thing and we are on the other side of it. So I'm okay with that.
So what's the holiday season looking like? Are you headed into your, I do a few caterings and Christmas things. And of course I had jobs booked. I didn't book anything, prior to November and December, just because I have my kid and we're here.
Yes.
But then I was like, okay, I'll do a little bit. And of course, then we changed our gathering rules, and literally within an hour, they changed all the COVID regulations here, making gatherings so they don't want them to be more than 10 people and this, that, and the other. So then within an hour, all of those events canceled because they're holiday parties, and people are like, I can't really figure out how to push this to a virtual platform. Of course, you provide suggestions, but ultimately there's a piece of that your client has
that
to.
You can't. Right.
Now, I'm not going to execute for you.
Definitely. So for us, what I'm seeing now is not so much with the holiday parties, but of course, I've always tried to market towards other entities outside of the catering aspect of it. And so we do mini charcuterie boxes so that if you do have, especially for open homes and things like that. So that has been really amazing. As for me personally, I don't necessarily want to go stand anywhere with nobody with a mask on for how many hours? No, thank you. So I will continue to do mini charcuterie boxes, cheese boxes, whatever it takes. And I'll be okay. I'll be okay till we can get on the other side. But yeah, as far as, big catering events and stuff, that has now gone to the wayside because we're the same way. North Carolina, our governor has issued his, mandates, and he doesn't want no more than 10. All the rules about your mask and stuff. So I'm like, I'm cool, Governor. Thank you.
And for the
that was Florida.
Yeah, the parties that I did do, they were more expensive because everything I had like my own COVID rules. So, I'm not doing a buffet. I'm not doing anything that, is community. If you're not willing to basically have every single thing on that display individually packaged, so people are taking an individual container of said item, I don't want to do it. We're not going to be putting out a cheese plate, a big cheese board, and not now at least.
And so that's what I was saying. So for us, so I was saying for us, just the fact that, we did, when it came to corporate lunches, we were already doing individual packaged lunch. So it was an easy pivot for me to then say, I can do an individual charcuterie box for you or whatever it is that you want, because that was already built into our cost. So it was easy for me to push forward to that. But yes, I can see that being an additional cost for a regular standing restaurant or even as a caterer, because if that wasn't your norm and you were doing your buffet styles, or if you were doing your plated meals and you rent your china or whatever, this going individual stuff costs a little coin, but it was already built in for us. So it was an easy transition. It was definitely.
Yeah, honestly, I see that staying. I see that staying.
Oh, yes.
Because now, like, people have gotten so innovative with it and so creative, and some of these are just so beautiful.
Yes.
And so, why not keep doing it?
Why not
doing it? I mean, and if you can find, we have some independent alcohol distributors, like, they make tequila, whatever. So if you can find one of them and partner up with their drink kits and their, delivered cocktail kit and your box, and that's a really good.
I'm gonna be Googling after this, honey. You ain't said nothing.
You know what? If you're gonna have a Zoom board meeting or a Zoom event,
absolutely,
to the next level, because you've gotten this charcuterie box.
That's right. I'll drop it to your door, and then y'all log into Zoom and do your thing over Zoom.
There's quite a few little, small little companies here that have bars to go.
Oh,
yeah. So then they design a menu, or you tell them exactly what they're looking for, that you're looking for, and they'll have all the garnishes, the juices, and then the liquor in a box ready for a shaker. And if you want to order like the whole thing with 4 glasses, martini glasses of this and that, it's a bar to go.
Okay.
And then there is Campfire Cocktails, which is a local one here in Springfield, down the street from where Blue used to be. And and it's all women owned. They dehydrate oranges, limes, all these fruits, and then put it in mason jars, which they've had branded, and with their spices. And then they'll give you a recipe card, what you can do with all these different, jars that they have already with spices and the dehydrated fruits and this and that. And you can add vodka, or you can add rum, or you can add this and that. And it's amazing. These ladies in the last 2 years have blown up to a point where
they make your own cocktail
showcased in Guns and, what is the magazine? Guns and Gardens. Guns and Gardens, Gourmet magazine.
I like that.
All those things. So it's out there. We just have to be as creative as possible to make that money.
Well, and I think that part of it,
absolutely,
part of trying to figure out what was next is that the rules were constantly changing. And for a certain part of this, I just felt like here, because I'm like weirdly situated between two states. And so I live in Overland Park, Kansas, but Kansas City, Missouri is a stone throw away. And so, I do a lot of business in both places. And for a long period of this, they were not on the same page in terms of regulation. One was doing this, the other was doing that. And it felt like, you're like playing darts with a pig, the bullseye's on a pig and you're blindfolded. And you're just like, what? I don't know what I'm doing. So for a while, I was like, I'm not doing nothing. Let them figure out what is going on, because I'm tired of constantly changing or thinking I'm going to do this. And then it's like, no, you can't do that. You have to do this, or no, you can't do this. You can only do this over here and you can't do that over there. It was crazy. So that's the weird part about Kansas City. Kansas and Missouri are just so close, and where I'm at, that you're navigating two different sets of regulation, and that makes it more difficult. But now I feel like we've all, I don't know, do you feel like you've settled in and you kind of can at least plan for the first quarter of next year? You kind of have a clear picture of what things are going to be like. Uh-oh. Did she freeze?
I think so.
Hold on. She might have to come back.
Okay.
Absolutely.
There she is.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, we lost you for a second, so I'm going to get you to repeat that, what your answer was.
See, we might have you need to close up again. Okay.
Let me try to bring her back. Nope, I think we lost it. We'll wait for her to get back on.
Okay. I wanted to mention to you about, you mentioned like the first quarter. So with COVID, and then it's wintertime, what are your ideas for, the first 3 months of the year?
What am I going to do? I'm really going to try to amp up this virtual thing.
Okay.
Like we're getting ready to launch, like with the little one, some reading and cooking classes. So I'm just going through right now, I'm finding all of the books, kids' books that involve feeding or cooking, like, the dragon and a taco, if you give a mouse a cookie, blah, blah, blah. And then, people have really responded to her cooking online. So then it would be, her demonstrating or doing the recipe on Zoom with other kids her age. They'll get the ingredients and stuff like that. So really just trying to get into more of that like Zoom space. I got a couple of videos I have to produce for people who are having parties and events. And then I'm just—
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
how do you feel about being a producer now of
It's hard, but we're going to try this. So I'm just going to make the videos. Oh, here she is.
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all ain't gonna get rid of me before time, honey.
No, the internet was not gonna let
need my full hour, honey. Come on here.
The internet was not trying to let us.
Okay. Oh, my daughter was like, "Do you need tech support?" I said, "No, honey. It's just the internet acting a fool."
It's bad for younger children because the kids always put together. They always
tech support, honey.
So we were talking about first quarter. Like what? Because I feel like if you're a realist, and I'm a pretty realistic person, you can kind of see what's coming down the pipe, and it's like I'm not even listening to what y'all are saying because some of y'all are delusional. We're not getting out of this until June, easy.
That's how I feel too.
And even then, I think it's still going to be here in June, but
it's going to be tapered back too.
More tapered back. It's not right now. It's like a wildfire. It's just burning all over the place. It's like
yes.
So how do you feel that you're going to prepare or move into first quarter? I was talking about amping up my virtual space. Like, people really like the on live cooking that I was doing with my daughter. It was just like spontaneous, us getting on cooking. She's 7. And then of course, folks started making requests and asking for recipes, and I had to stop because the alternative.
Mini boss lady. Mini boss lady.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm like, y'all
like that.
A fun time cooking into a job. Now, if you want me to provide a recipe, you're gonna have to pay for that, because that's actually time. That's not you watching us make dinner and fuss at each other, because that's what happens sometimes. Because sometimes she just want to make what she want to make, and I'm like, okay, well, we're not doing that. Follow along. So doing more like virtual, and then I have like people are having events, and so I'm gonna be recording videos, and then they're gonna play them in their Zoom, and they get recipes from me for however they do that. So things like that are still fun and innovative, but.
So it's the same here, tapping into more outlets that works, for what we do. Definitely, I'm going to come with another sale for January. I'm always targeting our clients as well as new perspectives in January, because once we hit January, everyone remembers their fitness goal and we want to lose the weight. And especially now with COVID, child, everybody got a little extra pounds, myself included. So I'm hiding the belly with the fabulous Sexy Jones. So definitely, I want to do that. So I am actually thinking of different plans. Probably going to reach out and partner with some personal fitness people and see how we can get those set up, and absolutely continue to just push, the different streams that we have. One of the beautiful things about our signature line is, I always say, if you love one of our dishes, you can always recreate it at home. And so that will be another aspect. So yeah, definitely just moving and angling and trying to capture your audience as best you can with everything that's going on.
Right.
Now, did you say in our little pre-talk, were you talking about some products or food products that are people can buy, or?
So with our signature line, we definitely have items there, especially our jerk barbecue sauce, which Miss Erica knows.
Okay. It's delicious.
Okay. And, that came from the fact that, they love the jerk barbecue chicken. So again, you can get the jerk barbecue sauce. We have the seasoning that goes with that as well. And you can recreate that at home, as well as we have a couple items where you can always have a sweet or a little Mary, So we definitely try to use our product line to do that. Just have you be able to recreate or just to add on to whatever it is that you are doing at home.
So with your jerk sauce, with your sauces, your barbecue sauces, are they available online right now? And is that something that is you would like to announce for the holidays to boost up the sales?
Absolutely. So we actually have a holiday gift set that the sauces are in, along with an e-gift card that you can utilize later on. We also have our signature punch in there. And we have one of our signature desserts, which is our Parker bread. And I have those in mini. And those are our banana chocolate rum loaf with Appleton rum from the beautiful island of Jamaica. McAfee represent. So
yes, I love
it. I said, guaranteed to keep you merry, honey. Okay.
Woo. Love it. Okay, where can we have to get your website address so that I can drop it in there so people can get
Absolutely. I will definitely send that over to you, Ms. Shanita, and they can click on and, we ship it out to them. Absolutely. We'll get it there. We are definitely seeing improvements with shipping. It's still not all the way where I want it to be, like back in the day, but it's gotten better. I went from 2-day ship to 3-day ship to 4-day ship to whenever we decide it will show up, honey, ship. That's where we were at.
Right.
That wasn't working for me. So
Right.
I paused our shipping for a while, but like I was saying earlier, we've tried a couple different shipments out over the past 2 weeks, and they've gotten there on time and arrived okay. And I'm like, okay, let's keep the momentum going. So definitely.
So I've reached out to like the post office. I'm at the post office a lot lately doing some things, and all you keep hearing is if ship before the 19th so they can get there for the Christmas holidays. So like I think the big day is going to be December 19th and December 20th. Try to avoid those 2 days as much as possible. Try to get in there on the 17th and 18th if anyone is doing any kind of shipping. So I'm glad to see that you've had some great shipping in the last couple of weeks. So that gives me some good hope on what's about to come. Uh-oh, did we lose her again?
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. We got through that spell.
Right.
This Wi-Fi is not our friend today, honey. It said it's tired. It needs a break. It was probably from all these Zoom Thanksgiving.
I have Zoom fatigue. Like literally, when I see that I have a Zoom meeting, it just does something to my spirit for the whole day. Like I'm just like every time I'm like, ah.
Yes, you sound like my hubby. He says the same thing. If I see one more Zoom link.
Now you know how sometimes in the world where you're like, this phone call could have been an email.
Yes.
I'm like, this Zoom meeting could have been an email.
Listen, that Viola Davis GIF is my perfect solution to that. Pick up my handbag. I could have been at home, child. Okay.
And just because I'm at home does not mean I want to be on Zoom with y'all every single night, every single week.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's my thing with Zoom. I have Zoom fatigue and irritation. A lot of days I see that
we have therapy sessions for that now. You know that, right?
They do.
Are you serious?
Oh yes, they do. I was watching in the mornings. I watch Good Morning America, and so we have all this stuff going on. And yes, there's quite a few people across the country that have all this Zoom anxiety, and now they have therapy sessions for just that, so that they can relieve the stress. The stress. For one thing, they're home, and they like being at home and doing their jobs at home. But then at the same time, they're home.
They're home. Yes.
And they have all this FaceTiming and Zooming and all this, and it kind of like
it becomes stressful
here.
Yeah.
To get away from that,
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of new therapy sessions that they're bringing about for people like that.
Absolutely. I can see it. I get it. Definitely.
That's terrible.
You have therapy to go to work. You have therapy because you at home Zooming working. You have therapy because COVID. You just need therapy.
Listen, my biggest fear during this whole time is just making sure my daughter stays sane.
That's right.
That's it. That is like my biggest thing. And, for her, I always say she's like my introverted extrovert. So it's okay to a certain point for her, but now it's like really wearing and tearing on her, like constantly being in front of this computer and, then these different assignments and stuff. And just pray for our babies, honey. Pray for our babies.
That's all we can do, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Chef Shanita.
Okay, so here it is. This is the question. So the last question is always, I want you to tell us, because this year has been a reset.
Yes.
Something that you think, that we've got to leave in 2020 as an industry. My thing has been $12 a person for catering. That's not a thing. Please stop calling us and asking us to provide food services for $12 a person. That's McDonald's.
I'm gonna just lay down and stay there.
That's pizza from Costco. That is not us. And then personally, my thing is working myself like up to the wall, hitting the wall, taking a day, and then working myself up to the wall again. So what do you feel like that you've learned, personally that you want to leave? And then where do you want this industry to just leave it, not do it no more?
So I love what you're saying about the fact that a lot of time our worth is downplayed. That is definitely something we can leave. It's always, the filet mignon dreams with an Apple budget at this point. So that is definitely something that we need to leave behind. And then for me, when it comes to the culinary world, one of the things, again, the cultural appropriation, because it's been a hot topic all year. It's been a hot topic all these years. And I definitely want us to just get into that mind space that it's okay to provide a spin on something, but just be mindful of what your word in it. Your words play a big part into that. So definitely we need to do that. For me personally, 2020. Woo! Jesus.
Right? It's been a shit show, is what it's been.
What can I say?
With a dumpster fire on top of a train wreck all together.
I love her analogies. They're just so colorful. Look at Erica's face.
It has. Like, there's no other way to slice it. This year has been shitty. Like, all kinds of levels.
It's been a learning lesson. At the same time, it has not been the greatest year.
And no, it has not.
So much from this year.
I mean, I've learned a lot.
I hate to say this, but it's going to be absolutely true. We needed this year to realize, to see who's real and not real. That people are showing their true faces. People are really showing they butt, and we needed to see that. Everybody needed a reality check.
It's so interesting. I just said to my daughter the other day, I said, when this started, we were all in this together. Every time.
Kumbaya and braiding each other's hair.
Okay, essential workers and Woosah. Thank you, Walmart. Thank you, Target. Thank you, Amazon. Oh, we are all in this together. And that's how we're going to get through it together. What happened?
5 whole minutes.
What happened? And that's always been like one of my pet peeves. I don't understand why in the climax of something, we have this new appreciated love and found respect and all that. And as soon as we see just a glimpse of something that looks normal or a glimpse of the light, all of a sudden we forget that. So that is something that we definitely need to improve upon all the way around as a society, as a culture, as everything. It's like,
but I think that you probably don't understand that because you are from Jamaica and that's different. The American people will die on the hill of individualism. Okay, that is our we are plagued with the disease of individualism.
Wow. It is crazy that you say that, because it is something that I talk about all the time, that for me, my perspective might be different on things because of how I was brought up. I was born and raised in Jamaica. I came here and finished high school. So my core morals and just value and everything has been of a Caribbean descent, and I've never strayed from it. I teach my kids the same way. I tell my daughter and my son, you have respect for the janitor as much as you have the same respect for the CEO. And I strongly believe that to this day. That is how I walk, talk, and move. And so for me, there's a lot of things that happen and is said, and I don't get caught up in it, not because I don't care, not because I don't understand, but it's because for me, our background coming up is it's a little different. So I kind of see things out, my hubby always says, okay, little Jamaican girl. He says that for most of everything because my eyes kind of see things a little different. Just my thought process.
You have the best of both worlds.
I really do.
To have your son and your daughter be able to say, okay, I see it from mommy's eyes, and then I see it from the U.S. people's eyes.
Because, they came up in the system here,
Right.
My son was born in Jamaica, but he came here at a young age. So he grew up in this culture. My daughter was born here in the States. But I always want to teach them that you can't just always be quick to jump onto the train because somebody said the train is going down the A track. It ain't necessarily going down the A track, sis. So let's open the eyes.
Well, and so this is the thing I was talking to, speaking of the Caribbean thing and just how so I was talking to my sister and she's got dual citizenship. She's Bayesian and then American.
Mm-hmm.
So, we were talking and she was like, as many deaths that we've had in the United States is almost the entire island population of Barbados.
Yes.
And that's why they have to take it so seriously. If they treated COVID the way that we treated it there, they would have there would be 10,000, 20,000 cities.
There would be no island left. Absolutely.
And I was like, really? So then I started looking at why the other Caribbean islands, that would be no St. Croix, that would be no BVI, that would be no, like all of the places that we love to visit
would be wiped out.
Would be completely wiped out had their approach to this been similar to how so what I guess I'm getting at is that they don't have the luxury of individualism because your individual actions have dire
needs. Oh my God, listen.
And because it's so close, it's like more like I think here it's just too
broad.
Yeah, so you're like, okay, well, my cousin's auntie's friend got COVID, but that don't have nothing to do with me.
And that's just been across
I had a guy tell me that today. He said right there in the coffee shop, and I said, well, I've known a few people pass in our industry from COVID. 5 of my family members had COVID.
Wow.
But and they're alive and well, praise Jesus.
Yes.
That was a scary couple of weeks. But he sat there and he told me, he goes, but do you really think they died from COVID? I was like, dude, are you kidding me? Okay, I work in a county that is Trump land, USA.
Because everything is a conspiracy.
He walked in with no mask. I have a mask on. We have the plexiglass up. But he literally told me right then and there that, he goes, there's a bigger picture to this COVID. We know that. We know that part. But at the same time, I just told you these people died from COVID. You didn't believe that they died from COVID.
What I don't understand is until this pandemic, masks stopped the spread of germs. Like no one would ever have considered going to the dentist office and having your teeth cleaned without the dental assistant having on a mask. Sis is not going to get her lashes done if lash technician does not have on a mask.
Exactly.
If you're not going to allow them to microblade your brows without a mask on, why can you not wear a mask?
Wear one for somebody else and for yourself.
In the grocery store.
Because they feel like they have the right and the choice. And that is what supposedly we, as in the USA, is built upon. Because for you to have a choice.
Yes.
But sometimes, how about we come together so then we can all just be okay?
The bigger picture. The bigger picture.
Right, which brings to the whole point of this conversation. I do not get all excited and geeked about these little kumbaya moments.
Right.
Because that's what they are. They're moments. And y'all are like very easily distracted as a culture. And the next shiny moment comes. And we want to stand in solidarity with that.
Absolutely.
Completely forget about the moment that we were in solidarity with 5 whole minutes ago. So I'm over it. I'm not doing it for y'all. Y'all, I'm going to just work on this. And y'all do y'all's moments and kumbaya and do all that. I'm not changing with y'all every 5 minutes. This thing is too much. I can't do it. No.
Shania is a whole mood, honey. We're going to need to get some of her statements on a t-shirt, okay?
On a daily basis.
Okay. Not doing this whole changing every 5 minutes. Can we get that on a shirt, honey?
Right. Hey, you know what? We can. Let me put that down.
Put it down. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Chef, I just want to say thank you so much for being on the show.
This has been
we are looking forward to watch you progress and be amazing in the next 2021. And also by being on the show, hopefully people will look you up on your website, follow you on your Instagram, buy your sauces.
Come on, sauce.
I'll be waiting on my food at the door.
Yes, ma'am. I got you. I got you.
Well,
And thank you, Erica, for just always, like, seriously. We go back like 4 flat tires, honey. Okay.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Well, this has been a very quick hour. And thank you guys for joining us again for the conversation. And we will see you back here next week for our final episode of season 1, where we do our little holiday gift guide. So thank you guys, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay.